If you want to make the best use of stoves, lighters and your radio, stay tuned. There are many ways to stop the lever on your gas lighter being depressed and thus losing gas. Some of them, however, are difficult to undo if your hands are cold or wet. One answer is to wrap the gap with string and jam the running end between the various strands. It's easy and quick to undo with gloved, cold hands. One good way to make any stove more efficient in the outdoors is to do two things. First of all, put a lid on the pot. This wastes less heat as you're heating the stuff inside the pot rather than the surrounding air. The second thing to do is to employ a windbreak. You can build a windbreak from natural materials or use the surrounding ground. You can buy a windbreak or you can improvise one. Ivor Bergman of Evasion Survival Alaska shows how he does this in one of Prepared Pathfinder's videos. The windbreak is fixed to about 3/4 of the circumference of the gas bottle and has fold-up ears. This allows the gas to be carried, taking up the smallest amount of room. The ears are folded up when the gas burner is attached. When using the Stanley cookpot system, my homemade windbreak is folded around the pot for storage. It has ears at the bottom so the gas canister stabilises the windbreak. It extends high enough up to provide a windbreak for the burner unit. To keep the windbreak in place, I use the weight of the gas bottle plus a hairband. On uneven ground, you can use 3 extending feet. Although the hairband works, it is a little bit unstable. So I tried using a wider piece of elastic. That seems to be more effective at holding the windshield in place. If you snap off your aerial on your radio, it's not going to work. However, if there's a stub left, it will. To make things easier, use a tent peg and keep it in place with some tape. It will work, but to make the job look nicer, you could use an old extending pointer instead of the tent peg. By trial and error, select the correct section to cut and insert into the existing stub of the aerial. The antenna can be crimped, glued or taped into place. And you've got a job that works and looks good. If you want to keep a whole host of small items together, either in your rucksack or another container, or next to your stove when you're cooking, try keeping them in a plastic bread bag. The bread bag is cheap, it's flexible, it's hardy, and it'll fit into just about any container that you try to push it into. Items can be taken out of a container as a whole group and stored on the ground next to your stove when you're using it. It'll stop you losing things and it'll make it easy to shove them back in the container and move away quickly should the situation demand it. Thank you to everyone who watches, comments and hopefully subscribes. Get out there, get training. You know it makes sense, it will serve you well.